now. So, all right, DBS fam, it's been a while. We have Latin America winner from the U.S., Jared Lopez. He needs no more further introduction, so I'm gonna let him go on with the deck profile of Android 21.
What up, guys? Yeah, I decided to take good old Android 21. I thought it'd be a good meta pick. I think it has like pretty good matchup spreads right now. It has a few bad matchups for sure, but the bad matchups aren't seeing as much play at the moment. And also, I always take an Android deck. I guess I don't go out of my way to choose Android decks. I kind of just happen to pick them up. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get started. I did four of the Android 17 key channeler. This is the main engine of the piece. It's your draw engine. Marker removal once it's on board. Activate main if your opponent doesn't get rid of it. It's just uh, down takes a marker. We did two of the Super 17. Uh, he's the alt win con. So usually I don't really need to go into him. It's a 7 energy play. But if you if you're playing against like a super defensive deck or something, or your opponent's hand size isn't going long enough, you could always just tap 7, play him. When he comes out, he plays 3 androids from your energy. So in the slower and grindy matchups, he can just get you wins in the late game. Ideally, you want to have some omens, or if your opponent's hand's low, you could do like triple of the Android 18 arrival card to crit them, and then bottom deck cards from their hand. I did 2 Android 21 Bad Omen. Uh, really just there to play off Super 17. Also, I usually just hard cast 1 a game, especially my opponent's getting low on life. I always want to play at least 1 to usually deal the finishing blow. For A18, top 5 searcher, pretty much all she's there for. You can rival her in some matchups. I think against U7, if you don't have a floodgate, it might be a good idea to like keep 3 energy up just to rival her when they play their 6 drop and bottom deck it. Because usually they're not going to side Death Blaster for you. They might, but I think you just take the chance. Um, Violent Predator, pretty much like the only SCR you can run in this deck since we can't play anything more than 5 energy. 418 super combos, best super combo to use for this deck. Making your opponent bottom deck cards is the heart and soul of this deck for sure. 4 of the 1-drop 18 speedy sub. Search your super combos, search your A17s. Like a majority of this deck is Android, so all your search losers will search pretty much anything. 4 A17 MVP. Yeah, just super good floodgate. Usually he's live super early. There's a lot of points in the game where I play Jiro from the Z just to get him online. We did 3 of the A18 counterplay to mainly for U7, just to bottom back the 4-drop because that 4-drop's super good. You can't have them burning your life down. And our U7's usually not clearing our Unison just because it's kind of hard for them to clear it, get so many markers. So super good. Also good against Go Hanks, good against their the 4-drops and stuff. I didn't play against any, but it is good in that matchup as well. We do 4 of the trading places. This is our draw on our opponent's turn. So the place and energy. So usually I'm just using trading places to get my draw on my opponent's turn and get the extra on tap on their next turn if I use it. Also, if you need to, you can hardcast her. So if your opponent has removal for the key channeler, you can hardcast her because at the end of the turn she also sacks an energy. But usually I'm just comboing her. Then did 4 of the Zamasu Unison. Super good Unison, super hard for a lot of decks to clear. It's a 19k. It's gaining markers on your turn, and it can gain markers on your opponent's turn. Yeah, best unit to use for this deck for sure. 4D mag, just have to have negates. Too many and too much annoying stuff swinging at you to be caught without a negate. I did 2 Pretty Black Hole. I really like this card. So Pretty Black Hole, whenever you can negate an attack, choose one of your battle cards. Negated skills, place in the drop area, draw a card, and then KO cards equal to your opponent's, or equal to the cost of the card you put in the drop area. So usually I'm using this with A17 Key Channeler because he's a 5 drop. So if you just think about it, right, for 1 energy, you're negating attack, you're drawing a card, and it's basically a mini secret identity for 1 energy on your opponent's turn, which is super good. Doesn't neg your hand size when you use it. It doesn't have to be on Key Channeler. If I negated with A17 earlier that turn, I usually just pop the A17 just to get a draw. Might as well just cycle and negate an attack. Can clear tokens if the opponent has tokens because the wording is up to. Good against Gohanks as well. They have like 4 drops out. They're usually dual attackers, so and usually I don't mind sacking my A17 because it's super easy to get another one just for 1 energy. I did 4 of the Kusu. Good counterplay. I don't really use her as a counterplay. It could be good against the U7 match, but sometimes it's kind of hard to keep 2 up for that. I'm usually just using her as a combo. I've been using her a lot more lately just to get around peel off because a lot of times my opponents will want to peel off. And peel off only bottom decks combo cost of 0, and Kusu is a 1 cost. So if you combo her, they can't bottom deck it off peel off. So usually I just use that instead of using my super combos if they play a peel off. You can also counterplay the peel off if they play it just to get rid of it because peel off's pretty annoying. I did 3 Roshi. I don't think I need 4. I think 3 is a good number. Just another way to get super combos back into my hand. Picks one up, puts one down. Then I do 1 Boo, so I want to have 5 unisons just to make sure I see a unison. I want to see at least 1 unison. Against green, I probably want to see like 3 or 4 maybe. Probably 3. If I'm going first, I'm usually playing around 3. They keep clearing it every turn. And yeah, that's it for the main deck. I kept it at a tight 50 just to make sure you see everything. Don't want to whiff on anything.
Okay. Let's get into the I guess the Z extra. Then we'll get into the side,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
Z deck, and
sounds
we'll get
good.
into the side. Yep.
So I did the 2 drop and 4 drop A21s. Uh, Earlier in the year, I usually wasn't really playing these cards. I always had them in Z, but I wasn't really going into the ramp of them too. But I've been starting to do that a lot more lately, and it's getting that extra energy, especially if you're going first. It's super solid because you're just going to be up like the entire game. Like playing this into the unison the following turn, your opponent's not clearing that unison just because you're going to have so much defense up and you have so much energy. Um, then I do 1 cell. Cell's just still really good. Good against Gohanks. Trying to think what other matchups I use it against. Usually I'm using it if my opponent's hand is low or if they're like at 6 life, because most of the time my opponent's at 6 life, they can't token negate, so at least 1 crit will go through, and then they are forced to token negate or something. Uh, Finishes the game sometimes. I did 1 Beerus. This is usually just to clear big bodies, because this deck doesn't have too much removal for big bodies, unfortunately. It has options. You have like the A18 counterplay, A21, the Bad Omen, but those are like 3 energy and 4 energy plays, which are super expensive. So Beerus is just there as like a 2 energy removal. Then I play 1 of the Z Extra, just a super nice defensive card to have. Um, yeah, just super good card. Usually using the tap 1 for the plus 15 to draw later on in the game. Also, bottom deck's 2 or less, so like your opponent's playing peel offs and you don't have good ways to remove it. Just a nice little way to get rid of peel off. Then I do 2 of the Giro. So I've always played 2 of the Giro. This is just to ensure my awakening. So the only way you can awaken this deck is if you're at 6 or less life. That's your only way to awaken. And Giro's a deflect barrier. Green Z battle card. When he's played, you add a card to your hand, or a card from your life to your hand. Reveal a green card, bottom deck it, and then draw. So against decks like A21, I'm usually playing 2 of these, which does feel kind of bad because you're giving 2 green targets, but we have ways to clear it later on in the game in the side that I'll get into. Uh, but yeah, A21's never attacking you, so you need a way to ensure your awakening, and having 2 is really good. Also, he gets 17 live really fast because it's a Z battle card, so you only need one Z energy to get him out. Yeah, it's pretty much all he's there for.
Okay. Let's get into the
And
sideboard.
then, yeah. So the side, I went with two Mafuba in the side. This is for mainly the Gohanks matchup. Gohanks, they play that A drop. A drop's super good. It's basically a triple attacker. Gets them 3Z energy, basically. So you really need an answer for that card because that card will kill you if you don't have an answer for it. So Mafuba's a good answer. It's 2 energy for 2 energy. Um, and we're blue and we're getting a lot of untap. So usually for us, it's like 1 energy, 0 energy, because we're getting untap 2 most of the time on their turn, which is really good against red. I think that's all it's there for. I don't think it's there for anything else. Good against Gogeta, I guess, SCR, if you see that. That's a pretty bad matchup, so I would just. Not much you could do in that matchup, but I guess I would side in with Fuba if I played against it. Next, I did two of the Shumai Pilaf. This is mainly for U7, and I do side it in against Gohanks. Not as good against Gohanks, but it's really good against U7. If you see it, just play it early. It really stalls them out. It limits the amount of Z energy they have, which is really important. Um, I also put it in against Gohanks. It's not nearly as good. Against Gohanks, if you see it turn one, it's really good because it kind of just stops them from playing their Z extra unless they want to neg. And negging against this deck it feels really, really bad because your hand size is going to be pretty low majority of the game, so you really don't want to neg two for that. But if you don't see it on one, still be good. The problem is they already have the ZX route. They just have a lot of cheap ways to clear it already. They have the little trunks that you combo from underneath and next something five, which is just a super efficient way for them to clear it. If you see it on one, it's really good. You call double strike, call barrier. But yeah, pretty much just there for U7 and Gohangs.
Yep.
Uh, I did one Mechikabura. This is good against like U7. It's good against Gohanks as well. If you call the 8 drop Trunks, just a good card in general. I don't think I put it in at all this tournament, thankfully, because I didn't. I had a brushed up on my Spanish, so I was like, I asked one of my friends, "How do you say 8 cost? How do you say that phrase in Spanish?" So it's kind of a good thing I didn't have to use this card to be honest. But yeah, not too many matchups I bring it in for, but it's just a nice card to have. And then I do two Smoke Dragon, mainly for U7, just to clear their either the barrier 4 drop or their Sunshine one or the other. Um, I don't think I bring it in any other matchups. I think it might just be U7. Unisons if they have any, but usually it's not a problem. Then I did two Zamasu. So I put them in the side just because usually I've been maining this entire all of last year for the most part whenever I ran this deck, but unfortunately there's just too many ways to clear it now. Red just negs it. Yellow just blanks. They have a lot more blank than they did before. Though I might still bring it in against yellow. Uh, I put it in mainly for A21. So I just if they don't side their Deburas, it's really good because it just nets you a lot of value throughout the game, especially if you see it early. Usually we're just uh, using Key Chandler as the sacrifice for this card, 5 drop, so it's like pretty easy to do. And if you see it early, it just gets you a lot of value throughout the game. Still want to have it for A21. And then I did two of the 5 drop Boo. So this card is Deflect, Revenge, permanent. If this card is in rest mode, your opponent, if they want to attack your leader, they have to discard 2. Um, his auto, when he's played, he's a board clear on your opponent's side and your side. So he clears everything, ignoring barrier except token cards. Everything in the battle area. So that includes Z extras, includes Mafuba. If your opponent has, if you Mafuba something, it'll clear that as well. This clears everything, which is, I only bring this in really against A21, new 21, just to clear my own board, which is really important because it limits what they can do. Because all my cards are blue, so it's just free energy for them. And it clears their board, so it basically ensures they can't turning the tide. You play this the turn before they want to go into turning. Basically can't because you just clear everything on the board. And also on play makes them discard 2 cards, which is really good. He does have a second auto that whenever he is placed in the drop area by an opponent's skill, he comes back. But against A21 doesn't really matter just because it'll bottom deck him or something. But still super, super good card to have against A21. And then I do one Jiro on the side. So the Jiro on play searches anything with Android, and I forget what it's called, this character name.
Yep.
I think it's the card name
It's a
on the
card
top.
name, yeah.
Card name, gotcha.
Yep.
So just search the secret rare for the most part. That's kind of the only purpose for it. I bring this in usually against A21 or matchups where I like really, really need my secret rare. So go Hanks, I usually really want my secret rare. Against 21, I definitely want my secret rare. The 21 does have answers, so if they have a unison out, they can counterplay it. Uh, so it's pretty annoying, but usually you're trying to clear their unison. There's not too many ways to interact with this card. It is 2 drops, so there's a few, but yeah, some matchups you absolutely need your secret rare and just need a second way to find it. Then I do 3 Dabura. You just have to have Daburas, still green Gohans running around. Also put it in against 821. So there's a few effects that make you discard. There's the 8 drop. If they play that, whenever you activate counter, you have to discard 2 cards. So you have Daburas, you can discard Daburas. Also, they play full power counter. You can push through, play a Dabura if you want to. And then it does really help in that matchup for sure, because you get into the draw too. You just want more cards in that matchup, because your hand size is generally going to be pretty low. But yeah, that was it for the side.
One I haven't been playing in a minute, so I usually have questions for you, but I'm just gonna nitpick
Mm.
off what I see from the deck. One thing I noticed from the deck is you have pretty much. I know God Sealing is banned, but you have pretty much like what 1, 2, 3, 7 ways of stopping things. So I'm guessing there's a lot of key cards in this format that just don't have deflect.
Yeah, for sure. For like all the 4 drops from Go Hanks, they don't have deflect.
Mm,
Uh, the U7 4 drop, the main one, that doesn't have deflect. So there's a good amount of stuff without deflect.
gotcha. So like I can't really question it because I don't know the format. But I guess I could ask you this:
Uh,
in your opinion, to help
yeah.
out the viewers, if you were to pick 5 decks right now that says the 5 top decks in the format going into Nats, what would your choices be?
I think it would be U7 for sure.
Mm,
I think Green Gohan's probably still up there.
mm.
Go Hanks is a really good deck for sure. A21, new A21. And for the 5th one, I'm trying to think. I'm sure I'm missing
You're talking about
something.
the A21 that this one or the one that resets your energy, the one that uses your opponent's energy.
The one that uses your opponent's energy, yeah,
Okay,
the set 2021.
got you.
Um, Trying to think. 5th deck. I think this deck is really good. I guess I'll say this 21. I don't know if how many people will be playing it. Usually, it doesn't see too much representation, but like, yeah, it's definitely a really powerful deck.
Got you. So, any tidbits you want to give the viewers, or anything you want to tell them before we head out?
I think that was it. I think try to cover pretty much everything. Yeah, I think that was it.
That's what's up, man. Well, appreciate the deck profile. Congrats, you and Robbie are killing the entire season and continue to kill it even in other people's countries. So it was a cool thing to see. Appreciate you guys, man. Continue doing your things, and hopefully you and him can see each other again in the U.S. Nats. And
That'd be
Legends
dope.
will be there somewhere, and the rest of the team will be there somewhere as well. But it would be epic rematch to see that you two again, just going head to head for I guess round two.
That would be awesome. That'd actually be awesome. Yeah, we've seen seen each other a few times in finals now
Yeah.
this year. Would
Yep.
be fun to do it again.
All right, man. Appreciate you and appreciate this deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys again next time.